Okay, hello. It's Clinton from the Charity Hub, and we are on to our fourth podcast. And today we have none other than Nathan Kennedy of DICE and lots of other areas. I'm going to stop talking straight away because Nathan's going to have a lot to say today, and I want to delve straight into it. Hi, Nathan. How are we doing?
Not too bad, Clinton. How's yourself?
I'm all right, thank you, pal.
Good.
Thanks very much for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. No, really
Plenty
good.
to get through, and I know you've got a lot to talk about. What I'd like to do, though, just from the off, if you can, is just tell us a little bit about you, where you've come from, schools, all that, what areas, and what Donny means to you. Well, yeah, but not too long.
No, not too long. So, my name's Nathan Kennedy. I run an organisation called DICE Enterprise. Started, really, when I was 15. I got kind of scouted by Doncaster Council, active Doncaster at the time, to do some sports coaching. The teacher kind of seen something in me at that time, which I'm glad. I really love my sports, really love being active and helping others. And I did a lot of volunteering. And it kind of stemmed from there, really, when I was 15. Just had a massive interest in going in the communities, working with disadvantaged young people, alcohol, drug misuse, etc. Working with people with disabilities and doing a lot of theatre stuff and sports. And from there, really, it just grew my passion, my interest. And really, I did an apprenticeship with Positive Futures and Doncaster Council till I was 19. And when that finished, I thought, what's next? What's next in my life, really? And I set up an organisation called Active Revolution, and that was about using sports and arts as a tool to help disadvantaged young people, really, in Doncaster, to kind of help them in life. That is either teenage pregnancy and using sports as a tool to engage them, to keep healthy, as well as getting advice. And through there, I did Parkour Academy, which were very successful in Doncaster. At that early time, you're talking early 2010s. It was a big thing.
When it was
just starting out. Yeah, it was coming out. Same with dancing in the kind of hip hop scene, street scene. That was coming massively in South Yorkshire, and I just wanted to provide something in Doncaster for the kids. But I've done a lot. I did national ambassador stuff at London Olympics. That was amazing. Helped. I think there were 6 of us. We young advisors. Helping to kind of co-create and develop at the really early stage what the NCS, National Citizenship Service, is for kids who are 15, 16 to get out there in community. So I've done a lot. I don't, podcasts can probably go on.
I don't think we've even started yet.
No, not touched the service. So I've done a lot, but it all led me to where I am today.
Yeah.
And the key thing is really just focusing on my passions and love and what I like to do, and using that as a key. Everything I do in life, generally, personally and professionally, it's just who I am as a person and what I love and passionate about. So that's the key thing I've tried to do and engage in.
You touched on that right at the beginning about saying one of the teachers saw something in you. Can you remember who that teacher was? And
Dan Goff. I remember his name. Wherever you are now, I know he moved on. But it was him, a chap called Colin Finley at the time. He was very young, he's not now. And it was great to really be recognised. I guess in school I was quite a quiet kid at that time, a little bit different now. But I guess for me, it was just thinking about it, growing up now and doing what I do, is how important it is to always be looking and providing them opportunities for others, as someday they might be in your position or above that can help and support you, and I think that's just key. And I really appreciate in someone taking an interest and seeing something in me, to think, this kid's got something, and that's why I set up Active Revolution, initially before DICE. Because I wanted to provide the same to others that they deserve in Doncaster, especially, if anything,
So, we'll start back then to the start of DICE. What was the leading factor for you to want to take the avenue you took with DICE? Did you set that up with Colin from the off?
So initially it was Colin that kind of founded DICE in 2013, and he just had an idea really to run a social pub for adults with a disability once a week at the Communication College, Specialist College, and I was there just kind of helping him, supporting him, because we knew each other throughout our kind of personal and professional career. And yeah, I was just helping out. And then it got kind of really 9-10 months in. We're both doing our own thing. And we had that little heart-to-heart chat as you do in business with your friends and people who you work with, you know, and kind of sat there and thought, where do you want to be in 10 years? You know, kind of that long-term goal. What do we want to do? And we had a little bit of a kind of quite a serious chat, really, you know, where we want to be, what's happening, how can we help each other, what can we do? And then we kind of threw it, well, why don't we bring it all together? You know, what I'm doing at Active Revolution with my business and what he started with Dice is, why can we not do it together? We both have the same skills, interests. I'll be honest, his weaknesses were my strengths, and it kind of going out, you know, it worked.
Yeah.
So, well, we had that break and thought about it, you know, a couple of months after Christmas, and thought, let's just do it. You know, there wasn't much to really think about. It was just more the financial side, how do we do it, and the logistics. But, you know, finding someone to be within business, and we're not just talking as a business partner, but also partners and other organisations, so important to find someone to help you, because there's many other people.
Yeah, and like I say, I think having skill sets that actually can come together to create something better. It was something very similar when I was at Heath Trust with me and Martin. We both had our skill sets that were very different, but created something great. Can you just touch a bit more on maybe some of the areas with Dice where you've grown, where you've made more of an impact, or, you know, some success stories? You know, I know quite a lot of your service users, and I just see the incredible work you do, and the positivity and the energy and the motivation that you give to them all individually. That one obviously keeps you going, motivated for your job, but must also be quite taxing at times.
Yeah, well, just to give a bit of context in case anyone's watching or listening, is, you know, we provide events for adults with disability. We do a lot of events for young people and families, and work with other partners on that, and we've been doing that 11 years now. We celebrated our success last year to survive in 10 years. And I say surviving because it was, you know, it's still, even after 10 years, many things in the world impacted in how we deliver stuff and what we do, but I would say we're onto a path of thriving in the sense of what we do for our members and how we help them. And I guess an example, it's quite a recent example, really. There was a young lady who suffers with, you know, ADHD, autism, learning disability, many multiple disabilities, basically. And she was homeless. You know, she was homeless. She's a young lady. And through the work that myself do, Michaela and my team, we was able to work with another organisation called Stride Yorkshire and provide a job skills, so job coaching, provide her an opportunity to be a part of Dice, not just in a social capacity, because obviously she was homeless, struggled financially, a lot of other kind of conditions and issues that were rises from that. And the success story is that she works with us. She's found herself a place to live.
Brilliant.
She's starting to get herself on the right track. She's getting the advice and guidance she needs, one-to-one. And, you know, that's one person's life we've changed, but we obviously engage with so many. Pre-lockdown, you know, we're engaging with 14,000 people at Dice in Doncaster, because that's what we do, is in Doncaster. And, you know, we touch so many people. It's not just the people with a disability, the adults that get a real life experience. It's the carers, it's the parents, it's the whole ecosystem of what we deliver and what we do. We're not just providing an event.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was quite evident the other week when we held our first multiply session with you guys and with session. John, which I thought were a fantastic session, and seeing what they were getting from it as well, the fact that they could come with the parents and the carers and they got involved as well, and seeing those relationships blossom and the confidence again. I mean, how do you think that went? I know we've had a private conversation about it. How do you think that went, and how do you think that's going to help people with disabilities, especially on the learning difficulty side of things and SEND and all the rest of it? And how do you also think we can better that going forward off the back of that? Because I know a lot of your service users have expressed an interest in wanting to do more like that and learn more like that. And obviously one thing that we'll be trying to do is push in areas where we know support is needed, and we really want to work with you on this. So, give us a little bit more on that from your point of view, how you think the multiply thing goes and how you think we can create something better going forward.
Yeah, well, regarding the multiply programme, I think it's a great initiative. I think it's something that's needed in Doncaster a long time, especially for people with a learning disability or with a disability, because from ourselves, we obviously provide a lot of events for adults. And the reason we do that is because when they transition from education, there is nothing hardly for them. And that's being open and honest. There is many other little groups out there, but it seems to be our sector that has to pick up that in the area. And the multiply program just helps so much. I've seen so many benefits from our members. Just mention name, but Victoria, how it helped her with accounting, and how she thought about stuff differently. And there's definitely a need for physical activity. Obesity and disabled people, they loved being active, they want to do it. There is people obviously who don't, but maybe there's not the option. If it's not out there and it's not provided and it's not seen, then they're not going to be doing it. So there's definitely with that. There's also the skill set in learning basic maths. They say life skills. A lot of them get, I would say, put onto life skills after further education. What else can they do? Oh, go on a life skills course. That's great. Some of them need it, but there needs to be more options. There needs to be more diversity and more inclusivity to provide that. So the multiply program is definitely, it's a need. I think we've just piloted it and we've just tried it, and I've noticed a success, but there needs to be that support. It needs to be keep going. It needs to keep going.
And it's the ongoing support afterwards, I think, isn't it?
It is key.
And giving them some opportunities to go and do something different and learn something different and not be pigeonholed all the time.
In a different way.
Yes, in a different way. That's why education doesn't need to be boring, does it?
We've got to think about that neurodiversity in the sense everyone learns different, thinks different, feels different. It's not just the fact of, the educational part in what you're teaching. It's how are they feeling, thinking, what they're doing, because them factors matter for our members, It's so key. So it needs a new approach.
And we're looking forward to trying to work with you on that, mate. We really are. And, hopefully going forward we can update more on that if we can create some pathways and growth, especially with the council and local businesses to get involved as well. All right, so, we've touched quite a bit on DICE there, which obviously has been your main focal point for the last 10 plus years. But I know you also have other things. Theatre Squad, Centre Stage. Do you want to... tell us a little bit about that as well.
Busy. But like I said, these are my passions. DICE is my passion to help and provide. But alongside of that, Theatre Squad, basically, Theatre Squad UK is a adult social group for people who have a love and interest for theatre and dance. And even if they don't, there's an opportunity there to still meet people, make friends. As we know through lockdown, and this one idea even before lockdown is, touching base personally, there was a time in my life where I felt a little bit lonely. I work out, I'm doing many things and getting everyone else social and enjoying their life and doing stuff. And then there were part of me that I'm just working silly amount of hours and not thinking about myself and my health. And I thought, you know what, there's definitely a need for this because I've seen so many people talk about it. Before lockdown, I know lockdown just emphasised it. So what we do now is we provide activities and events for adults, across the UK that want to go to the theatre, that don't want to go alone, that want to make friends, that want to go to a dance class and just have a bit of a laugh and a boogie, that have not been able to either do it before or they've not trained for many years and they don't know where to go to get back into it again. And it's just a chance to kind of tackle that social isolation, want to make friends. They might have moved into area and don't know where to start, but they love theatre. So, So
it's good for, especially people who may be isolated, single, that sort of...
it's for anyone and everyone. It's even for yourself, Clint, that, might be having interest, say, of dancing or theatre, and you might just think, oh, they've got this event on, they're going to this concert, going to this event, and you think, you know what, it seems really fun. They're going on these trips, and it'd be nice to just kind of just make some friends, have a laugh, and that's all it literally is just adults coming together and enjoying themselves and having a laugh like you would do, if you join a sports group or you go to your local pub for some people and do the quiz. That's literally what it is. It's just for people to have the opportunity to take, really.
Yeah, and where would they need to actually go? Where are you based?
Yeah,
for
good
finding
shout.
out
I like that. I've
information?
told him, yeah, good shout. So they can find us on Facebook. We've got a Facebook group called Theatre Squad UK. We also have our website, Theatre Squad Club. You can find us on Instagram, which you'll see all the photos and videos and kind of what we're doing and, you know, all the fun things we're kind of just getting up to. But yeah, we're on Instagram and it's just Theatre Squad UK.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just looking to just expand it and enjoy it, you know.
Well, I've seen some of the
can do it
videos and it does look like fun. To be fair, it looks like everybody's enjoying themselves. So,
Yeah,
you
we'll
know,
have
at
to
the end of the day,
sometime.
mate, it's doing what you wanted it to do and it's bringing people together.
Yeah,
so,
and that's it. You know, I wasn't looking to get anything financial out of it or benefit.
Yeah.
You know, this is about just seeing something that people are needing and giving it a go. And if it works out in the end of being able to cover costs and be a finance to keep it going, then yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's all it needs and wants. And it's needed. It's needed in Doncaster. It's needed across the UK.
Absolutely, mate. I couldn't agree more with you that. And just sort of moving on from it, because I actually really, I've been and witnessed some of this stuff with Centre Stage. And I do think it's incredible. And I do think it's something that, I mean, it has the potential to be huge, and it should be bloody huge.
I agree.
You know, if you want, yeah. But again, I'll let you talk a little bit more about that, about, you know, what goes on and what the aim of it is.
Yeah, so Centre Stage Theatre Camp is basically a summer residential theatre camp for kids aged 8 to 17. What it's about having that fun, jam-packed weekend that's just full of workshops, adventure, one-to-one support. If you're love and interest in theatre or on stage or want to perform, then it's about getting out there and enjoying yourself. And this theatre camp provides that for the kids to ignite the fire and the passion, to basically make friends, build the confidence. And we get professionals from all over the world, you know, that have been in like Mamma Mia International Tour, that have danced for Rita Ora. You know, we're getting professionals that are in that industry to give them that knowledge and skill set. And especially because with theatre, a lot of it is down south, you know, to kind of make it and break it, where I want to bring that up north to provide that opportunity. And that's what Centre Stage Theatre is about, is providing that fun, you know, that kind of, making camp, you know, kind of summer feel, but in the UK, and giving that chance for kids to just enjoy it. Yeah. And I think that's key, you know, even no matter where they are in their either career or if they're just starting out or want to even just try it. You know, this is an opportunity just to enjoy a weekend full of adventure, you know, a bit of zip wiring, you know, workshops with amazing people. But not just that. At the end of the camp, they have 16 hours and they smash it and put on a full production. So you're talking from learning stage management, direction, you know, choreography, technique, learning scripts, mic etiquette. You know, you're talking a whole thing. These kids are jam-packed. Yeah. But it's just full of just fun, excitement, campfire, everything, you know.
And it's an whole area, obviously, that you can't access at school or anything like that. No,
you can't. And it's missed. And you can probably tell, you know, I absolutely enjoy it, Clint. I love it. And it's our 6th year. And we got through COVID. People are really wanting to do it now. And it's blown up, you know. We've had people from down south, up north, Scotland, etc., and it definitely got the scope to be even bigger. Yeah. And I am always open. If there's anyone out there, even listening now or watching, if you know someone or yourself want to be involved and it sounds amazing, do find us on Facebook. Send me a message, because I'm always open to working with people and collaborating and providing. For me, it's providing that opportunity as wide as I can to help as many people. This isn't about profit and about being a big organisation. This is about providing and getting as many people involved as possible. Yeah. You know.
And when do you run the theatre camps and how would they get involved?
So this year we're basically in Doncaster. It's called Durham Valley Kingswood. Yeah. We base it there, but location can change. It depends where the camp is or what year. And this year it's on the 31st of May till the 2nd of June. And yeah, it's just a 3-day, 2 nights, residential for young kids that want to just, find the passion, and enjoy it and love it.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Honestly, again, you know, obviously people won't know this, but we shared an office. Yeah. Well, I was just for nearly 4 years, and, you know, I've seen the growth of a lot of these things, and like you say, you don't look to monetize. You do like I think what most of us do in the third sector is we have and we see what's needed to be done. We need to go and do it, and then we find a way of trying to finance it.
We still have that business mindset, but that isn't the key. The forefront is doing the right things in the right way with the right people for them. And that's what's key. That's the three things I've always stuck by forever. Is making sure that happens.
So with the longevity you've had with Dice and the success, what would you say are sort of maybe milestones or serious proud moments for you as an organisation?
Good question. It's something I probably never...
Because we don't talk about what we do.
No, you know what? It's a good question, and rightly wrongly, I've probably not thought about it as much as I should do and appreciate. And I do appreciate a lot of things, and I do have moments, but...
I mean, obviously, last was the 10th year anniversary.
Yeah,
was obviously
that was amazing.
And...
I think, when it came to that, and I was drawing all the kind of getting videos from our members, parents, carers, and obviously putting that together and editing it, and truly realizing, we've made such an impact. Yeah. And you sit there and you listen to like what they've been through and how hard it was, and what you're doing, and all that you think you're doing is providing events and providing that support and activities. And you just, because it becomes norm, you're going by day, you know it in the back of your mind. But then when it took that moment for that grand ball for the 10th year, me and Colin just sat back and thought, what a great job we've actually done. Took a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and financial pressure, from ourselves as a business owner, in this sector, you do. But wow, such a proud moment. I can't tell you. Inside now, I'm just like lit up and warmth. It's just knowing the people from them videos and giving that I think...
Yeah, mate, honestly, it made me emotional watching it when you did it, because I know how much work you guys put in. And obviously, I've met quite a lot of your service users and got my own relationship with them as well. But yeah, I think being able to show how important it was to them individually, and also giving them the spotlight, because they are every single one of them I've met so far have got their own little spotlight on them and have their own dazzling personality.
They do indeed.
And it's amazing that you get to actually show that to the community and show what can actually be done when you put the time and effort in.
And you know what, Dice, that is what Dice is about. Our members, our parents, our carers. Without them, Dice wouldn't be here. We do a lot of work, obviously, in the background to keep it going, but we always factor them into every kind of decision and what we're doing and what do they like, because at the end of the day, it's for them. Yeah. They're so important to Dice and to us. Dice is, I'm not kind of protective of it, and neither is Colin. Dice has its own entity, and who it is and what it is and who it's for, and they are the key factor. It's for them. It benefits them. They steer it. Yeah. If they want certain thing on or certain event or want it a certain way, even regards down to our membership and event costs, it's so important that they have that input, and that's what we focus on massively.
Yeah, and is there while we're on it, is there any areas that you probably maybe need some more support, help with, that be venues or things to do that you're looking for?
I think with Dice, because we're going now for 11 years, it's not a start-up business. It's it's taken us to the next level, how we can grow and how we can build to benefit the community more, and disabled adults and people, families, etc. So it's definitely more in, if they want to kind of invest in Dice in the sense of their time, volunteering, an organisation might see us out there and think, we really want to support the organisation. We just had Howdens, which has supported us, which is lovely. Every year they've given us a kindly contribution just to help run an event and sponsor. So there's many opportunities for organisations and partners and individuals to come and support us, and the areas is literally supporting our events. That's either voluntary or just wanted to help out. If buildings are out there, or if anyone that wants to kind of help us apply for funding or certain pots, or they've seen an area that disabled adults or young people need, then come to us, because we're open. We need that people with that knowledge and skill set to help us grow, because it is, a lot of people think Dice is quite massive,
Yeah.
and it is in the sense of its entity and what it looks like and feels. And a lot of people are involved in the sense of members, parents, carers.
Yeah.
But team-wise, there's only 4.
Yeah.
Four
And
little
they're
ones.
not, and you're not all
No.
full time, mate.
No, well, we're not all full time, you know, and they work, and it'd be great to kind of just help and support and grow Dice to what it needs to be now.
Yeah.
You know, it needs its next chapter in its life of growing as an organisation, a non-for-profit. So,
Well, that'll lead me on nicely to what I want to sort of, you know, what do you see as the future for you? Do you think you need to diverse in a different way? Do you think you need to just basically stick with what you're doing because it's so successful? You know, is there any areas where you think the community or a collaboration in the area might help you grow?
Yeah, I think what we deliver now works. We're always either moving with times. We always see a change within that area for disabled people. You know, policies come in and things come in place, and we're always seeing a change with that. So we adapt. You know, but that's just us being prepared and ready, and myself. But I guess where we would like it to go is be more accessible in the public eye, and having that support from the local authority. We have support at the moment, and they're great, but I think it needs to be more aware, of DICE.
Yeah.
Say like social prescribing, the areas in the care system, care homes. Also, when they're transitioning from colleges, schools, is them knowing about DICE a little bit more, because DICE is the place where they can feed into what their interests and hobbies or career opportunities or volunteering can be for them.
Yeah.
It should be seen as a place as, you know what, this is where I'd like to be. So many parents come up, Clint, and, rightly or wrongly, you say, you know what, at least I know where my son can be if I'm not here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They've got a life, they've got opportunity, they've got a chance, you know, and it's crazy to think like that, but it's so nice that they can feel at ease.
Yeah.
Because we're there to help them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, we need just more support in that sense, so we can keep doing this work.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere, is it?
No.
Right. So, through all of this, you've had quite a lot of personal achievements. I'm hoping I've got this right. So I've got down here that you won the National Young Achiever Award.
I did, yes.
Is that right? And
many moons ago now.
Many moons from the date I've got here, mate.
Yeah.
How did things... I know we're not in it for the accolades. That's not what we're here for. But sometimes it is actually really nice to be recognised for the work you do, especially when, like yourself, you work tirelessly, a lot of long hours, setting things up, running things, doing things in your own personal time.
Yeah.
And it does sort of take over your world a little bit. So, what do you feel that winning something like that has helped you at that point? I mean, I know when, he's just won Charity of the Year, that's not what I was there for, but it felt so good.
Yeah.
It did feel good.
Yeah.
It felt nice to have those conversations with people that you'd been recognised for your work. So how would you say those have helped you, or have they spurred you on?
Yeah, obviously with that National Young Achievers Award, at that time, it massively spurred me on. It wasn't about the award, but I didn't even know I was getting it.
So how old would you have been?
I would have been, 2011? So coming up to, I was 20.
Right.
So this is early in when I set up Active Revolution at 19, but like I said, I worked with Unlimited, which are quite a national company that do a lot of funding and support young people into stuff, and I did a lot of work with them. And it basically, the National Young Achievers Awards is all the volunteering, the hard work I did in my community and across the UK at that time with the national NCS, with the Olympic stuff, with helping disadvantaged young people across the UK, going in school, universities, communities, trying to stop knife crime, stop antisocial behaviour, using parkour, dance, theatre, anything we can do as a tool. And I was just going on day by day, just doing my thing, enjoying what I love. I'm young, I'm passionate, I'm raring to go. Coming from, kind of an area in Doncaster where I would say, for me, because it's different for others, we're quite deprived in the sense of opportunity. For me, you know, we all have different circumstances, but you know, I just wanted to do so much, and it was just so good to be recognised for that. And I think without getting that at that young age and that time, being kind of a young entrepreneur, because it was hard. No one listened to me. No one wanted to give me contracts. I'm too young, got no experience. That's what they thought. But I fought my way and did it. But that stirred me on to want to do it more. So it's great getting it, and it really did help at that time. And I think it's needed.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's not what we're initially doing it for. But it's such a good thing.
No, it's not. And yeah, again, like sort of maybe coming on to you a little bit personally. Yeah, we can. I'm aware of a lot of the stuff you've done, but most people won't be. Talk a little bit more about some of your recent challenges, and you know, with Everest Base Camp amongst other things, you know. So you know, just have a little bit of a chat about that and why you feel you need to do that yourself and what you get from it. And
you know, I've always had a thing with myself where I push myself in life generally, not just through my job and career, but just personally with my dancing, my theatre. I love hiking. I love doing the fitness side of things. And, you know, hiking is a big passion of mine, and exploring, seeing the world and seeing... It really helped me become who I am. Has not materialised how things work. You know, I travelled Southeast Asia for 6 months, exploring, just, you know, literally exploring different communities. I volunteered in Cambodia for a while, help set up an English school with a guy called Sue for kids. And, you know, there was one kid there that had autism, and I was helping educating how it works, because he just thought he had challenging behaviours, you know. And I've done so much in the sense of seeing the world and how things work, and I think that would work where I am. That would work where I am. It made me as a person, you know, in just seeing people, how they live their life with nothing, but it's so much, you know, in how they treat each other, how they think and feel and do stuff. And travelling has just been a massive part of me in seeing the world. And, you know, you've mentioned it recently, the Everest Base Camp last October. Crazy thing. Like, I never thought I would even attempt it. 10 days, 14 days in total, but 10 days to get to Everest Base Camp. The altitude were a killer. The day of the day were 12 hours. You know, you're walking, you're contemplating life, like, why am I doing this? You know, it was hard. And, you know, but I needed something. I don't know what it is, but there's just something in me where is my breaking point? Yeah. It's odd. You know, some people don't get it, but in myself, I'm like, am I gonna do it?
I absolutely get this, mate.
Or am I gonna just curl up and cry and give up? Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not, mate.
I know where I know where I am. I know where my point is, but I did it, and like that sense of achievement. I have to be honest, got to Everest Base Camp, beautiful. Okay, right, a couple of rocks, you know, and I saw Everest. That was like everything, you know, seeing it being so close and there, like what an achievement. But what for me is getting there. Yeah, what a journey. You always say it's a journey. You always say that, and this time it was, because it was a hard journey, but a nice journey. Experienced a lot of things, so yeah, just a challenge. It's just, I don't know what my next challenge is.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to ask you that.
You know,
we're always looking for a challenge.
Yeah,
so.
Well, I have recently booked. It's not more of a kind of hiking challenge this time. I've kind of toned it down, but I have just booked to go and explore India in December for my birthday. And I just want to reach out to loads of communities and see what's going off there and experience the culture and the food, and food especially. Yeah. You know, but yeah, I think I would like to do Kilimanjaro. There's so many things I would love to do.
Picchu.
But it's picking the right time and what's going off with everything else. It's like so much, you know.
A lot of stuff to do, mate, and not enough time as always.
Yeah, that's it.
So, what would you say is your vision for yourself, really, going forward, and how do you think sort of the likes of what we're trying to do here at the Hub, in supporting and collaboration and training whatever we can, you know, what what would be your vision for you going forward, and especially around the third sector, and maybe how we can help a little bit more? We're always open up for suggestions.
I think personally and professionally for me, if it's about me, is I'd like to use all the knowledge and skill set that I have into help other organisations that are either just starting up or they're in the same kind of area that I'm in, or growth, or where they're wanting to go, because as people say, I've had my finger in so many different pies and skill sets, and that I would like to try and provide that to others and help, because with that collaboration and with that support, there's always growth, there's always avenues that you can help and support each other to get that investment or funding, or just in the knowledge, just the knowledge from it. So for me, professionally, I think I've grown DICE to a point where it's built, it's there, the foundations are set, we know what's what, we know where it is and what it does good. So it needs that next level, but I also need to find the right people and take that step back so I can help others. I want to try different areas and see where I can go with that. I just think for me, I want to help other organisations and people myself to guide them and help, and also support me. I'm sure they'll have knowledge and support as well and give me.
Yeah, I think we forget that, mate, sometimes when we're trying to be the driving force. So, we do need that advice and support from other people, because they've got different experience in different things. And I think that's something that we've probably done subconsciously between us, like passing each other in the office. Sometimes we're both busy, we'll have a quick chat and we'll just mention something. I know, like little things like Canva and stuff like that back, when you were doing stuff like that. I'm like, oh, what's that? All right, well, you can get this for free. All right, okay. Just little conversations like that, doesn't particularly mean much. You've not thought about it, but then saves money.
Well, it did.
Saves
save
time.
Money. Yeah, it saves the way you do stuff, and there's just so many benefits. For me as well, is when you're doing something and you sometimes just one word or a phrase to say just makes you think about it in a different way. You think, good point there. Yeah. Right, and then it stems into that idea.
Now a million ideas.
Yeah, that's it. And but it needs to do that. Yeah, because you can get just tunnel vision.
I couldn't agree more, mate. Yeah, and I think again that's why I think along at the networking events and stuff, it's so good to have people from such diverse areas within the sector, because yes, we're all trying to do sort of the same thing and help our community, but there's so many different ways in which way that can be done. Yeah. And I agree, like sometimes somebody will say something to you when you're doing a project or you're looking to do something, it can be the simplest of things. Yeah. But because you've been so headstrong in it, you've just not thought about it, and then it's just like a light bulb moment.
No, and this is why I'm so on board with what you do at the Charity Hub, because you've made so much impact so far, but the key thing is you're getting people together in one room to talk about what they're doing, what help they need, and the Charity Hub is there for that, and you have the right morals and skills to help people and support, and that's what's needed a long time in this sector, and you will know because you're here and doing it.
Yeah, lived it.
So Charity Hub, big up. Whoop.
Thanks, mate. Yeah. We didn't pay you for that.
No.
So obviously you have a clear passion for acting and the arts and stuff. How do you believe sort of the arts, maybe in particular dance and the theatre, can play sort of a supporting in empowering individuals, maybe, especially those with disabilities? How do you think those things come together?
Yeah, you know what? Another good question. You got these questions down today, Clint.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, it's good. You know what? It can help in so many factors. Some people obviously don't see the arts as an educational pathway or how it can help, but there's so many factors. It is a shame. It's a huge shame. Yeah. But they don't understand how it can help in so many different avenues in education. We talk about multiply program with the numbers. When you talk dancing, etc., that you use all them counts and movements and feedback. With our members at DICE, they get so much out of it in the sense of sometimes they come and they don't have a place where they feel they belong. society is not created for them, or is not accessible for them, should I say. And, using, because we do a lot of stage stuff with them and performances, it is providing an opportunity to, one, be themselves, find themselves, educate them using theatre and arts as kind of a bit of a therapy, in making friends, talking about issues, using it within the acting scene, and what the scripts that they're learning, the reading, which is madly important. And we've recognised it with so many of our members that progress with us in memory, picking up better,
expanding the vocabulary, and things like that.
We have such a diverse, obviously, group. With learning disabilities, or some who obviously got dementia, and some who obviously got learning disabilities, Down syndrome, etc. And arts can be used in so many different areas because it's such a wide...
It takes the barriers away, doesn't it?
It does, massively, because it's a chance for them to either be themselves or play a different character.
Yes.
Be a superhero. Be
no,
a
don't want to do that.
Be drunk.
Or be a drag artist.
Yeah, exactly.
As we like to see, Jamie.
Yeah, as we know, And, there's so many factors to it that it can be used to benefit. And touching on, not DICE, but you might have seen I posted on my LinkedIn page the other day from Theatre Squad that someone messaged me. She posted a video of her dancing in 13 years. Right. And... she obviously, amazing, you're fire, that, loved it. Fire means you're amazing if you don't like to.
If you're not down with the
kids. Just to explain it, give some context. But no, and I said, I love it, amazing, like first time, to have that confidence and to put yourself out there and look what I'm doing. What I'm doing. And she just messaged back just saying that she's just spoke to her partner and that a year ago, she didn't have no confidence. She had social anxiety to get out and even meet people, let alone dance and post a video or, you don't have to, but that's what she felt she had to do in the next step. And then literally, what got it for me was she put loads of love arts and just put, your dancing is like therapy. Thank you.
There you go.
And
that's all you needed.
Yeah, and that's what I put on my LinkedIn screenshot. It just, them moments make you sit back and, I'm doing the right thing, As hard as sometimes it can be financially and stuff you've got on personally, on your mind, etc. Them moments are so key to just cherish because you know why you're doing it. You know why you need to, even if it's that one person.
Yeah, it felt a little bit like that when I came down to see you and John with the first multiply, because I was working with John. He will be on the podcast soon, actually, but. Because I'd never seen what he did, and I've seen bits of what you guys do, but to see it come together in that sports hall with all the different activities and watching the personalities come to life and seeing the enjoyment on education, and I'm one of these. I didn't enjoy education because it was done in a way that didn't work for me, but watching that come to life was quite emotional. I know it sounds a bit weird, and I know Brett was exactly the same because we've been talking about it for a few months, trying to get things organised with the likes of yourself and John and the other charities that have been involved with it with us. But those little proud moments like that, for me to just walk in and see everybody doing what they were doing, and that was actually having a benefit, not for just the individuals but for our community, is a very strange feeling, and it's something don't think I've ever felt outside of the sector. I have had many a job outside of the sector, and I don't think you really get that sense of achievement, pride, that you had a simple idea of just wanting to help people and getting a simple message like that or a thank you. Probably they think it maybe doesn't even mean much, just saying thank you for what you've done.
Yeah, it can change. It can change someone's life.
Like say, we have our own personal things going off. We're not always, 100% operational and fully motivated and all the rest of it. So those things help us because it is a hard sector, and there's a lot of knockbacks. There's a lot of hurdles, shall I say? We'll keep it as polite as we can to get over in this sector to be successful. Like I suppose, like any business, but I do think we have extra obstacles in our way. So on that sort of coming towards the end, but how would you Well, what advice would you maybe give to someone looking to start a charity, I see a non-for-profit, and maybe some of the initial pitfalls maybe not to fall into?
Yeah. Let me have a little think about that, because, you know, I guess initially, if it's just in the business sense, is really know what you want to do. And I mean that in the sense of, yes, you might want to maybe do a workshop, or you want to provide some art, or you might want to set up an event to do something for someone. But what I mean is who is it for? You know, who is it impacting, if it is a non-for-profit or social enterprise or a social aim? But you know what? The key thing for me is have that business mindset. It may be a non-for-profit, but it's got to be sustainable, because through the career I've taken, I've seen so many projects that are here today, gone tomorrow, and and it's correct. I see amazing things happening that pop up and think, it really needed good, but then not have that mindset in how can it be sustainable. The next thing that comes with that is, who do I need to support me? You don't have to do it alone.
Absolutely, mate.
You don't have to. People get a narrow vision in thinking that they have to be protective and competitive. Like, someone else is doing it, someone else is doing it. Yes, they might be doing it, but can you support and help with that? Can you not come together like I did when I started? Why does it have to be that competitive nature? Why can we not all benefit? So please get some advice, get the support. Can you get a mentor? Can you help? What's around locally that are supporting startup businesses, just to initially help with the financial side in setting it up? And I guess a big thing is know your market, know who they are, what's it for, who is it going to benefit, how they think, feel.
Do your research.
Yeah. Before you even start applying to companies' house to set up your organisation, which is exciting, and thinking of many names, is get your structure.
I was just about to say, such an important
Get
word.
your structure, get your foundation for yourself personally, then move on to your foundation for your business. It's really key and important.
I think a bit like you, when it's a bit of a passion, it's not really a job. I know it is, and I know we have to regulate our hours and stuff, which we're not very good at and we're getting better at, but it doesn't feel like a job. It really, and I once likened, working at East Trust when I got it as an employed role, is how a football must feel. And that might sound really weird to some people, because absolutely worlds apart. But for me, I was going to be paid, not a lot, but I was going to be paid for doing something I loved and I enjoyed, and you got instant gratification from helping somebody or seeing that you've helped somebody. And I hope that doesn't go away, because that's what the sector needs, and we do need to be business-minded, but we don't need to be that protective, because collaboration is only going to help us and support us. And like you were saying there, I think, again, what we're trying to create at the Hub is being able to have that place where people can come, and even if it's not like an official mentorship type thing, but there's people in that room you can go and speak to and ask the question. And I absolutely know, or I can guarantee 99%, someone's going to give you their number or email and say, message me.
And I can't tell you, Clint, how it's so key. And I wish it were there when I first started up.
Yeah.
Because it'll probably be at the next chapter with Dice, in having that mentorship or that guidance, or to throw stuff out and think, am I doing this right? What's happening? And I think the key thing, especially when you're starting up, is it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There is that financial pressure, there is that stress, there's that initial thing which you've got to expect. You've got to be prepared to knuckle in, but you definitely need that, what's the word? Kind of that support around you.
Support network.
Support, personally with family, etc., but also professionally.
Yep.
Because you can't do it by yourself.
I think that's probably where I went wrong myself early doors. I had plenty of support from my family and my friends, but having that support from either somebody who's lived it or somebody who's already at a higher level within business who can give you some of the feedback about the hours and the focus, and having the structure in place, that is one of the biggest things, the structure and foundation. Because if it's not there, the longevity isn't there, or it makes it twice as hard to get there.
And literally, I always say to everyone, you know, if that's at theatre or dancing, anything, even work and dice, network, talk to people.
Yes, mate.
Because
like BT
gets
used
lost.
to say, it's good to talk. Why did they lose that strap line? Come on, people. So do you just go with I'm not going to take too much more time because we are busy and I know you've got stuff to do, but could you just maybe just give a bit of an insight or anything that you've gained through the last 12 months, 2 years that's kept you motivated and hopeful about the future? Because it's been a tough time coming out of COVID. We know that we were in the office a lot together, not, we're 2 meters apart.
Yeah.
But, we saw what we both had to go through as charities and organisations through that. Yeah. And I think we have actually come through it strong and stronger. But yeah, what else keep you motivated and hopeful for the future of the sector?
I think I'm seeing a lot more collaborative stuff, a lot more partnerships being talked about, and a door being open to do that. Not a shut door, I do this is all I do, no one else. Is that there's a crack in the door, it's open now, but it's invitational to talk and discuss and open up to think, right, how can we help each other, how can we partner, can we do this together? When you're looking at a funding bid, let's say, is can we do a partnership with it? Can we do that? Usually that was shut, didn't you? Not even thought about, and I guess what I'm seeing more is there's still the tape, there's still the areas, where it's difficult, but the local authorities starting to listen. There's a little bit,
I agree.
And I like that. And unfortunately, COVID happened, and it seems like they needed to do more in the community to help people. But I'm glad it stayed, and that's what's good that we're linked with that now. Part of the Community Connector scheme, myself and Michaela, is that we're trying to get and seeing a lot more organisations working together. A part of that, so it's good to see that from the authority. Yeah,
agreed. Agreed. Because obviously, ourselves working with Doncaster Council, Simca, Skills Bank, all these people. And again, I think it has just been trying to get these things to piece together so you can actually make it all combine to work as a whole. And I do think the authorities are finally seeing how much of an impact they can have by having a bit of a more focus and being more active in the community. Fingers crossed for that, and I hope it's going to go well, and I hope we have got lots of conversations going off, so we'll keep people posted on that. So couple of closing questions, which obviously are always the most important ones. So from our previous guest, which was Vicky Beavers of a sleep charity, her question for you was, how important is sleep to you?
Very important, but it's only, I would say, the last couple of years where I've even considered, and thought about my health around sleep. I do, like I said, I do a lot of hiking, do a lot of fitness stuff. I do meditation, and think about my mind, but then not consider that sleep. And so it is important to me. And it was great to actually go to the charity hub when I was doing a talk that time and listen to Vicky when she did hers and think, wow, this is great, It's not, a lot of people do not think about it, and it's so important because it does affect how your body repairs, your mindset, a lot of things.
I think a lot with us in this sector, because of the hours and the stresses that we do, you don't focus on your sleep enough.
No.
So right. Okay, what is either your favourite meal or your favourite cheese?
Cheese, favourite meal. Well, it's not at the moment because I'm on a health regime. But my favourite. It's an hard decision, Clint. You've thrown it. This is probably your hardest question now.
See, I told you.
There's so many good ones now. You got a hard one. Pizza. I love it. I love a curry. I do love a curry. That's what I'm going into it. But I do love a pizza. Pepperoni pizza.
Thin.
All day long.
Deep
Thin
pan.
crust. It's stone baked. I've got one at home. I just cook away. But no, I absolutely love pizza. Adore it.
That's a good shout. I'll let you have that one. And then, so finally, what would you do with Vicky? And what would be your question for our next guest?
Ooh, so I guess one thing is, how can you make this world more accessible for someone? In the sense of, there's many options in that word, inaccessible. That could be the lifestyle, that could be the health, that could be the physically the doorway, But how can you make this world more accessible for an individual?
I love that
question. They'll obviously have someone in mind.
Well, absolutely. I love that question, mate. That's definitely going to get them ticking. Right. Thank you very much, mate.
No, cheers
Good
for
luck with
inviting me.
everything, and we'll obviously stay in touch, and hopefully we'll get you back on the podcast so we can talk about more success.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Thanks for inviting me, Clint.
Cheers, pal. Thank you.